Good afternoon, ma'am. This is Riza Meroshana together with my partner Mary Jory Batado, and today we were going to discuss about the language assessment strategies. So the objective of our lesson is at the end of the lesson, the student are expected to differentiate between various methods of various assessment and its sustainability to different learning objectives. So according to Bob Lenz, most schools and most of our learning stops at knowing, and we need to move that and broaden it to the doing and the reflecting. So it means that if you are a teachers and you are giving an activity in your learners, it should be reflect in their experiences, and it should be a real world applications. And by that, mabroaden nimo ang knowledge sa bata. So nag wala lang ka naghatag sa ila og specific nga topic or specific ra ana nga ideas, but also imuha pang gi broad ang ilahang knowledge of that specific topic. So what is the purpose of language assessment strategies? So first we have achievement assessment. So when it talks about achievement assessment, it is the compilations of all the learning. It is a compilations of all the learning of the learners. Like for example, ang teachers, ang teacher, after sa iyong discussion sa lesson 1 or sa unit 1, gahatag siya og post-test. So, by giving the post-test, ma-identify sa teachers kung asa niya need i-improve ang iyahang discussion or unsa ang need sa bata pa para mas masabtan niya ang gidiscuss sa teacher. So it means that it is refers to work completed in lesson. It measures the extent to which the pupils has met the learning goals in a given time frame, such as a lesson, series of lesson, or an entire course. It means that if ang bata or if ikaw ang teacher is nakuha ba nimo ang imuhang objective. Like for example, ang imong objective is ma-explain sa bata or ma-identify sa bata ang different kinds of different parts of the body. So dapat after sa imong discussion is ma-identify jud sa bata ang kana nga parts of the body. So sa paghatag nimo og post test, so makita nimo kung ang bata is nakasabot ba siya sa the way ka ga-discuss or need pa ba kag laing strategies para mas makasabot ang bata. Then, second, we have proficiency assessments. So, proficiency assessment is the assessment of a pupil's ability. So, of what they know and what they can do in the real world. It measures a learner's proficiency in a context outside the classroom. So, ang proficiency assessment naman, it talks about kung unsa ang nahibaluan sa bata or unsa ang mabuhat or unsa pa ang mabuhat sa bata. Like for example, gahatag ka og activity. So, sa kana ang activity nga imong gihatag as a teacher, makita nimo kung naabay knowledge ang bata ana nga activity, usa ka mo proceed sa imong proper discussion. 'Di ba mo hatag ka og activity first, and then makita sad nimo ang kakayahan sa bata if they already know or if naa ba sila'y nabal-an ana nga topic. And then we have, so how to assess student learning and performance. So there are different tools to assess the learning performance of the students. So first, we have creating assignments. Second, we have creating exams, using classroom assessment techniques, and using concept maps, using concept tests, using group work, and last, we have creating and using rubrics. So like for example, diri sa using classroom assessment techniques. So diri to assess the learning and performances of the student. So dapat you as a teacher naa kay different strategies on how kung paano nimo i-deliver imong lesson or paano nimo i-handle ang mga bata. And then using concept maps, like for example sa science, no, after sa imong discussion na magpahimo kaniya og concept maps. And then assessing group work, or like for example gahatag ka og kanang assessing group work, gahatag ka og activity nga by group. So dira nga time, so makita nimo ang mga bata, so maka-share sila og different ideas, so mas naa sila'y mahibal-an pa. Yes. And then creating and using rubrics. So like for example, in English. So ang topic mo in English dayon about poetry. So after mo sa discussion, imuha silang muhatag sa ila og output nga mag memorize sila og usa ka poem, then ilang i-present sa front, then imuha silang i-grade using rubrics. So by that, you are assessing the learning and performances of the students. Then next, let's proceed to the 3 types of classroom assessment. So first, we have assessment as learning. So when it talks about assessment as learning, it like for example, ang bata is gabasa siya. And then, while gabasa siya, ga-take down notes siya sa mga words nga unfamiliar sa iya ha. And then, after ana, iyahang gi-unlock or iyahang gi-research kung unsa ang definition ana nga words. So, by that, ang bata, naka-learn siya through sa iyahapong self. Siya mismo ang ga-discovered ana nga learning. And then, assessment for learning, it is like for example, ang teacher after sing discussion kay gahatag siya og post-test. After sing discussion, gahatag siya og post-test yang bata. Sa example ani sa assessment for learning kay mo na ang mga pre-test, ang post-test, mo na siya. Para ma-determine sa teacher kung asa ang need i-improve. And then, we have assessment of learning. So, when it talks about assessment of learning, mauna ni siya ang kabuuan nga kabuuan nga nabal-an sa bata. Like for example, after sa discussion sa teacher, 'di ba, after sa quarter 1, 'di ba, naaman na yung mga summative test, then final exam. So, ang tawag ana is assessment of learning. Dira ma-determine sa teacher if throughout sa iyang discussion sa unit 1 is naabay na balan ang bata. So, that's all in my part. And next, ang akong partner si Mary Joy Rebatado. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ma'am. I am Merger Batado and I will be the next reporter of Persona. So, the title of my report is all about classroom assessment. It may be classified into 4. So, there are 4 classification in classroom assessment, which is number 1 is selected response. When we talk about selected response, is talking about the teachers gave an assessment to the students according to their knowledge. Is like, for example, multiple choice, true or false, matching type, and fill the blanks. This would be the measures to the teacher if the students understand their topic. And number 2 is all about AC assessment. Okay, when we talk about AC assessment, the teachers gave an assessment to the students, like for example, writing skills, organization, and language use. Bali, ang teachers gahatag siyag assessment sa students nga like for example, mga AC pasulato na sila so that kanang ilang i-evaluate if the students naka-understand ba sa ilahang lesson. And for the third one is all about performance assessment. Of course, it is very important nga hatagan ni teachers og mga performance test ang mga bata so that ang teachers maka-measures og unsa ang capability sa bata nga mo perform silang mga task. Like for example, ginatagana sila ni teacher sa role play according silang lesson nga ginahatag. So that performance task, makatabang na siya sa bata through critical thinking and others. So, number 4 is personal communication. Of course, personal communication plays a crucial role in teaching. In elementary grades, it involves establishing strong connection between teachers and students. Of course, it is very important na ang teacher and students can be communicated so that it creating supportive and engaging learning environment so that ang students o ang teachers is mag-unite sila duwa para ang students makabalo siya kung unsa dapat niyang i-improve ug unsa dapat iyang i-enhance through learning. Conclusion, language assessment strategies, it is strengthening teaching and learning by ensuring that students is progressing measured meaningfully and sustainability. They provide teachers with reliable ways of evaluate performance, guide instruction, and supports learners' growth in both in classroom and real-world context. That's all about my part, and thank you.